Hello everyone, Jason here at the Whittier Public Library Children's Department with another STEAM-powered science take-home science activity. You can pick up a kit at the library and follow along at home. So today, since we're in the month of March, we're going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day a little bit late by creating a Magic Leprechaun Rainbow. I'm sure you all know the legend of the leprechaun and his rainbow, so today we're going to be trying to create that rainbow. So here's what you're going to need in case you didn't pick up a kit. You're going to need 6 clear plastic cups. A little bit taller like this will probably work better. You're going to need some food coloring. If you got a kit, you'll have 3 little plastic cups with food coloring in them. You're going to need some paper towels, 6 paper towels. Half sheets are perfect like this. And I would recommend using a name brand paper towel rather than a dollar store one. I tried some of the dollar store ones. They're just not as absorbent and they just don't pick up the water quite as well. In your kit, you will also have a gold coin, and that's just for fun because, you know, there's gold at the end of the leprechaun's rainbow. You will also need to supply some water, and I would recommend, this is optional, but I would recommend trying to do this on perhaps a baking sheet or perhaps a large plate, or put down some newspapers or something like that, because it's easy to spill and food coloring can really stain stuff, so be very careful with this. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before we start, I did put some gloves in your kit. You might want to use those if you don't want to get stains on your hands, but that's totally up to you. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our paper towels ready. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to fold this. So it's going to be folded, the length is going to be in the short direction. So basically you're going to do what at school they might call a hamburger fold. You're going to fold this in half this way. All right, fold that. And then you're going to fold it 2 more times, like that. And 1 more time like that. 3 folds total. Give you a nice strip of paper towel, and it's going the short direction. So it should be about this long. If you fold it the other way, it'll probably be a little too long. Now, I would recommend you push these down to flatten them, maybe put them under something for a few minutes just to get them nice and flat, because otherwise they tend to pop open. And you want them nice and flat. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold this in half, this way. So you're going to fold it like that. And again, put it under something to get it nice and flat. So there you're going to do this with all 6 paper towels. Once you're done with that, you'll take your plastic capsules. Now these, your food coloring may have gotten stuck to the top or dried out a little bit. So what I'm going to recommend you do, pour some water into there, and then put the top on and swirl it around a little bit in there. Be very careful. Again, this can easily stain, so make sure the top's on good and don't swirl it too hard. But swirl it around a little. Now you should have your color ready to go. Do it with all 3. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and get started with our rainbow. Okay, so you now see I have my 6 paper towels all ready to go, and I have my colors ready. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 6 cups, and I'm going to arrange them in a circle. I would recommend putting them right next to each other with no gaps in between. Get yourself a nice circle of cups. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my colors into cups, and I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to have one with color. I'm going to have one with nothing. One with color. One with nothing. And one more with color. Again, be careful with all this. It's really easy to spill, and this stuff will stain. Now I'm going to fill up my cups the rest of the way, all the way almost to the top. Not quite, but almost to the top, just like that. I'm going to fill up my yellow. I'm going to fill up my blue. A little more in the red. Now I'm going to take my paper towels, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use them to make little bridges between the cups. So it'll go like this. Push it all the way down. as far as it'll go. And make sure to do this fairly quickly because your colors are going to start moving in a hurry. So you're going to get all those guys in there. Also, try to make sure your hands aren't wet with colors because you don't want to get the colors on the paper towels before they go in. Okay, now you see I have 6 cups with 6 bridges between them. Now is where the patience comes in. You're going to have to actually wait a little while. This can take anywhere from a half an hour to a couple hours for this rainbow to fully form. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to a rainbow that's on a white background and show you a time lapse of what happens over the course of about an hour to 2 hours. Okay, that's about it for our experiment. How did your rainbow come out? Mine came out pretty good. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening here. First of all, why did the water move from cup to cup? Well, it's for a couple of reasons to do with these paper towels. First of all, the paper towels are made of something called cellulose. And most paper is made from that, and it's just basically ground up wood. Well, cellulose really likes to soak up water, and water really likes to attach to cellulose. So when you have something made out of cellulose, that water is going to grab onto it, and it's going to soak up and get wet. But water molecules also like to stick together. So when one little bit of water attaches itself to one little bit of cellulose, it pulls its friends along with it, the other bits of water, the other water molecules, and they'll attach to the next little bit of cellulose, and those will pull more and attach to the next little bit, until eventually the water climbs all the way up and into the other cup. One other thing that's happening here that helps is something called capillary action. If you ever take a clear straw and put it in some water in a cup, you will notice the water goes a little bit higher in the straw than it does in the rest of the cup. This is something called capillary action, and basically what it means is when water is in a really thin little space or tube, it will stick to the sides of that tube a little bit, which means it'll rise up a little bit higher than the rest of the level. Well, in these paper towels, there's lots of tiny little spaces and gaps, much more so than there would be in a regular piece of paper. And the water likes to rise up and fill in those little gaps. So you get your capillary action, again, pulling the water up a little bit higher into the paper towel and a little bit higher and a little bit higher until eventually it goes all the way over into the next cup. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you had fun, and we hope you'll keep an eye out for our next steam-powered science kit, which should be coming soon. Also, please stop by the Whittier Public Library and check out some books if you'd like to learn a little bit more about these topics. As you can see, we have books on rainbow, colors, you can learn about the legend of the leprechaun, and so on. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you soon at the library. Goodbye.